Hi, I'm Alex McCann, host of the ONSIDE podcast, a podcast dedicated to building community and sharing ideas around innovation-driven entrepreneurship. I can't believe we've come to a close on the first season of the ONSIDE podcast. We launched this podcast during the pandemic, literally from my bedroom closet, where I recorded our first episode with Ohad Brohide. And I've just been so lucky to have so many memorable guests, including Greg Wanger from Oberlin, Julie Rivard-Dexter of iRead, who I think was our first in-studio guest because of the pandemic, Darren Rolls from Sona Nanotech, and Gabrielle Masson from Colorsmith. And we just were blessed with so many great entrepreneurs. In our first season, we really wanted to open up the conversation around innovation-driven entrepreneurship. What did this even mean? What were people's personal journeys towards this kind of entrepreneurship? Was an entrepreneurial mindset something that was cultivated, or was it something that was innate? One thing I noticed among our many guests was that they didn't set out on this journey originally. Some were passionate researchers, some were literally just trying to put food on the table or solve an intractable problem. But all found a way and the supports they needed to turn their ideas into a reality. One cool show moment for me personally was our interview with Greg from Oberlin. You might remember this episode where he shared some insights around some of his earlier work at Jet Propulsion Laboratory, which contributed to the Mars mission. On that day when we were recording, we were actually counting down for the Mars landing. I mean, how cool is that? We actually met someone who put something on Mars. We also ended our season with our very first podcast live stream event, which featured Martha Casey from Volta, Ross Simmons from Foundation Marketing, and Saeed El-Dawrahali of Simplycast. In this podcast live, we explored the role of inclusion in innovation, the impacts that COVID were placing on future trends around how we work together, and so much more. It was really fun. I really enjoyed it. I really want to thank all of our listeners for tuning in, and I hope you'll join us for our next illuminating season. And with that, I want to encourage all of you to subscribe and like our podcast and check out all of our previous episodes and more at onsidenow.ca.
This
has been
a Podstarter
production.